Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
Let's more than judge the two. But
Hang on. Joseph? He's going to open the door. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim Hoey. Oh, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. We start with the New England Patriots, and there are no good losses. There's just not any, especially when you play 17 games a year. You've got to win every. There's good wins.
Yeah.
There's ugly wins, but we'll take them. But
and
that
there's
game,
missed opportunities.
right? That game, right, Joe? That was a missed opportunity. They attention to detail. They would have won that game.
Yeah, well, you know, there were extenuating circumstances where you're down to your third quarterback, who was probably not as prepared as you would have liked against an elite defense, you know, at least for as far as the NFC is concerned. So,
But Brian Hoyer, Zappy, they're the same. You probably get the same production you would.
What I like about Zappy, he's more mobile. I mean, that showed up a little bit, I think. You know, I like his mobility. He's more mobile than Mac. I'm not comparing him and Mac, really. But I think he gives you a little more of a chance to win than Hoyer does.
He did, but it was frustrating, Russ. Right? I mean, they were conservative.
Yeah, they had
overtime.
they had training wheels on him, and
Yeah.
there were a couple times. I think in overtime, after they got the ball to 50, they gained 5 yards on first down, and that was the play where he should have done a play action fake and let Zappy put the ball over the middle, because you pick up 15 yards,
field goal,
Game's
could
over.
win it.
field
Yeah.
goal could win it.
Because you know, 3rd and 5, it's going to be a fail.
3rd and 5, he had very little chance of surviving that play, I thought, because they knew.
Well, I think they're down to like 5 or 6 plays that he knows. You know, they're working from a very limited
Well, I think
playbook
He knows
with him.
quite a bit more. But,
Well, from what I heard on the radio
yeah.
this week, they went to like the generic, super generic game plan.
They
oh, yeah,
have
and I
to,
like the way they brought Marcus Cannon in for an extra blocker, protect him a little, give him a little extra time, because that's what happens with a guy like him. He needs an extra second or two.
Yeah, and Isaiah Wynn is such a stiff. I mean, if Isaiah Wynn plays any kind of normal
Horrible.
game, then we probably win that
Yeah,
game.
I-
Do you
but that's
see
an
where
embarrassment.
Marcus Cannon had the highest grade?
Sure, he
Now,
did.
why does it
Other
always
people-
go back to
PFF.
poor drafting? It always just falls back to poor
Well, I
drafting.
don't know. I don't know.
Win was a number 1 pick.
No, but I wouldn't consider Wynn a bust. I mean, he's been.
No,
Well,
he's
he's been on the field with half the time. He's supposed
He's
to
an
be on the
average guy.
field. You know, you're the
Yeah,
king of
he has only played half the games he's been eligible for.
and Scotty, you're the king of Grandpa Gordon. And,
No, he's been injured a lot, but I thought the last couple of years he's been better.
I'm with Scott. I don't think you could classify him as a bust. Nikhil Harry was a bust.
Yeah, right.
You know,
But I mean, what could we have had at that pick instead of Win?
Yeah,
from a production
he and
standpoint.
Sony weren't first-round picks. They never should have been first-round picks. You should have grabbed them in the 3rd or 4th.
Wait.
But it's over. It's water under the bridge. You got to make the best.
Wait, Wynn was in the draft that we won the Super Bowl in,
That's right, yeah.
So, but Wynn did not play in the Super Bowl.
Could have had DK Metcalf over Bull.
No, no,
We're
I
aware of
understand.
that,
I
yeah.
absolutely understand that. But Wynn did not play in the Super Bowl, wasn't he? He was injured, right?
I can't remember.
Yeah, he didn't play his rookie year at all.
He was out. He was injured the whole year, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
look,
he was IR'd pretty early on.
Jerry Jones wanted him, or at least that was the rumors. in the off season.
We had to snap him up before.
Oh, no, we didn't get. We'd love
Oh,
to
that Georgia coach just hornswoggled Belichick into taking those two bums.
Yeah, but look, Rodgers was
Wait, do we consider Sony a bum?
no.
Not a bum, but he should have been a third or fourth.
Why are we
Nick
talking
Chubb
about
was sitting
Sony
there.
Michel?
No, I know because we
Let's not
always
talk about. Let's not talk about Sony
no,
Michel.
no.
Joe's
Sonia,
Binky.
does he have
Joe's
is he in the
Binky.
league still?
It's we all have our
It
guys.
always comes
we'll
back
bring
to Sony
Durant
Michel.
up and James Young at point.
No, I don't.
Get,
I'm
I'll
sorry.
get
Grandpa
Kendall
Gordon.
Nava at some point.
Right.
He'll get Tuukka Rask.
You know what that game was the other day,
I love
though?
to.
What it does show you is when you don't turn the ball over, you can keep yourself in games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, I hope Mac.
Exactly.
Look, they kept they
Wally,
did
yep.
they did a good job keeping him under wraps and having Zappe
Yeah.
not put him in a position to make a mistake. You know, I hope Mac was paying attention, because if you don't turn the ball over, you can keep yourself in a lot of football games.
I think he is paying attention. All of a sudden, he feels a lot better.
Yeah.
know.
Hey, that game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. That's for sure.
They
hung around.
Most of us did, even though I did have the correct score.
I don't know. That's right. I don't know the
Exact
stat, but
to
if
the
you
note, really.
Exact.
but a team that gets a pick six probably wins 80% of
Yeah.
those games.
Yes, usually. That's a big
I mean,
plus.
we have to
Yeah.
be encouraged by the defense.
And a couple
Yeah,
of really
absolutely.
good returns on the special teams, too. A couple
Yeah.
of 20-yard punt returns.
Yeah, great segue, Joe, into the draft picks. That draft was ripped. Of course, we always say in the Grandstanders, we don't know anything. Who knows? But what I do know is that Cole Strange, all they do is talk about.
I thought Tony Romo was going to ask him out to dinner after the game.
Right? And then the two Jones boys, Jones played
All
fantastic.
three defensive Jones had good games.
Yeah, and we got ripped for this draft. So maybe we got this one right. I hope so, because this team needs a solid foundation of draft picks to build around. I mean, they took a swing at free agency a couple of years ago. They kind of swung and missed for the most part, I would say, in free agency. I mean, you have, if you draft good, you're just building that foundation that you're going to build the house on.
And it's cheaper that way, and you can afford
you can.
better. You can afford one of the top line free
All right,
agents
so
or pay your
and that's
So
what
are you
Positive-
saying, would you guys say we had a good draft this year so far, what we're
Oh, my
looking
God.
at?
It looks good so far.
Last year's draft was good. Mac Jones, we got
Barmore,
we got the running back
Stevenson.
Stevenson.
And that's going to be it on that
Maybe
draft.
we're going in the right direction, but the year before that was horrible.
Yeah, last 3-4 years. But is that the positive development coming out of that game? Is the development?
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
rookies?
you have to say the young guys are trending in the right direction. We probably want to give them more than 4 games to declare the draft a success.
Right.
However, you've got a bunch of rookies playing meaningful roles for your team, and you're
hanging in there.
It's great. It's
contributing, and that's what you need for a team that
That's
is
what they need.
Middling.
They're trying to get faster.
Yeah, right.
Part of it, they were so slow last year.
Marcus Jones. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Collins is back, so we just trended a little slower right there, right?
It feels like Dante's coming back too soon.
Well, he'll come back in the junior Seau
Yeah, right. Because all of us.
right about the deadline.
But Bill's thrown up the white flag and realized.
Yeah.
I totally fucked up the linebacking core
Yeah.
again this year.
Yeah, I need some veteran presence. These guys are a little off the.
Nobody.
Off the wall.
Nobody. Not
None of
one
them
person.
hit. Yeah,
that
none
was
of them hit.
and Cameron McGrone is he still?
He's
The
on
savior,
practice squad.
the savior, didn't he? This guy, and they had me all fired up for this guy. I'm like, they're not drafting a linebacker because they got this McGrone. He's gonna come in and be, the next
Every year there's someone. Remember Zach Sudfeld? He was going to be the tight
Oh,
end.
yeah,
the next
right.
Teddy Bruschi.
Everyone had him being and they
Who?
cut him.
Who?
Zach Sudfeld.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a tight
Exactly.
end, yeah.
That's a great segue into the tight ends who take up like
Who?
20
tight ends? I thought we were playing this year without tight ends.
Unbelievable,
It
right?
is absurd that we cannot figure out how to get any tight end
No, right.
a ball.
And I mean, these
Well, I
guys
think
were well
you gotta
regarded.
say, last week Smith is out, and Hunter Henry was kept into blocks. He wasn't going out running routes. Just wasn't happening.
But Joe, he was a
Because
key
of
guy
that, what they
last
were
year.
doing.
He was
Yeah.
a key. I mean,
If he was anything, he was Max Pinky.
Yeah. I mean, overall for the whole season, wouldn't you call him the best signing when you taken the picture of the
Last
whole
year?
season?
Yeah.
Over Judon because Judon, whatever took off the last 6-7 games.
Yeah.
Henry's
And he's
been
invisible.
invisible.
Yeah.
And
I
Janu
don't
Smith
get
is
it.
hurt.
I don't get it.
And he was out again today on the injury report, so I don't think he's going to play this week.
And not to get all capologists on, whatever they did to free up some money puts Janu Smith next year at like $19 million against the cap.
Yeah.
Do you see them doing that?
No,
No,
they did it.
They have to.
No, but you see them paying it.
Yeah, they have
They
to.
have
They
to.
have to
It'll-
eat it.
It'll
Yeah.
count. It'll be dead money. It'll
be
count
dead
no
money.
matter what.
Even if they get rid of him, Timmy, it
Wow.
counts. And you're not getting any production.
Hey,
from
at
him.
least you don't think we're getting production from the tight ends?
Tight ends.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the line. I'm sorry.
Nothing. They don't. It's like-
19 million.
and then Henry's $9
You
million.
can get like 4 good offensive linemen for that
Yeah.
price.
yeah. I mean,
One tackle, one offensive.
Yeah.
tackle.
again, we talk about the draft, but the free agency and who you sign and how you manage your cap is just as important as any draft.
Yeah.
Have they lost their way?
It's a transition, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Most teams go down to the bottom of the barrel. Peyton Manning retires. And
But we had the
they
greatest
got
coach of
worst
all
team.
time who knew how to figure this out.
Well, that's why they're not at the bottom.
That's what
No,
we
but
did. How many
you know
times
what
did
we
this
had,
team
though?
reinvent
Hang on.
itself through 20 years?
What we had the combination of the greatest coach of all time and the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you know what Brady
And-
brought? Brady brought like a leadership in the locker room, an accountability, like that the coaches can't even get down to that level of the
Yeah, but
offensive
where did
linemen
he-
not
that's-
jumping and things like that.
Now remember, where did he learn that from his coaches? He wasn't like that the first 10 years of his career. It's only been the second half of his career that he's been that kind of guy.
I mean, he obviously brought it to Tampa Bay with them when he
Yes.
went there. You know, yelling at offensive
Everything he
linemen who
learned-
jumped off sides and held and things like
he,
that.
He was the guy. Arians was just an afterthought. It was Brady that was telling everyone how to win a Super Bowl because he'd
So
been
it was the combination of the two made one.
yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
without Brady, there's no Belichick.
Yeah, I think
and without Belichick, Brady's probably was on a practice squad, and then that was it. No career.
I think it's been said many times. Brady papered over a lot of mistakes,
Yeah.
and I think Belichick's probably lost a little something. He's lost is a lot of the guys that have been hired away.
Yeah,
So,
institutional knowledge.
right?
Yeah.
Institutional knowledge. People who will stand up to him and tell him, "No, I think that's a bad idea, Bill."
Yeah.
So he's been stripped of a bunch of supports, and the best player who's ever lived is no longer making up for mistakes. So they're kind of like any other team now, right?
Yeah.
They're just another franchise.
Yeah, he's lost his entire front office staff,
Yeah.
all the scouts, everyone. You know, we look and we say, oh, he lost all these coaches, but it's been worse in the front office. He's really lost everyone there.
Yeah.
Everyone has poached everyone he's ever trained.
And it's the whole idea is that he's always dialing up something original. He's not dialing
I don't
up
see it.
anything.
Russ, I thought you
Oh,
brought up a good point. How does anyone come in at this point in Belichick's career and question his
Yeah.
Yeah.
decisions?
Sure, not
Ernie
his
Adams-
Say, that's right, coach. You know, that's great.
Right.
Takes a lot of guts.
Well, you know that he had that kind of relationship with Ernie Adams. I'm sure Ernie Adams told him he was full of crap 2,000 times in
All
the
the
last
time.
20
You
years.
see Ernie
Yeah.
around town much?
No.
No.
He was the guy, the horse whisperer with Belichick. You know, it's 3rd and 3 from the 42, down by 8. What do you do? And Ernie Adams seemed to be the guy
he would
whispering
be
in
the
his
one
ear.
that'd say, take a time out or don't take a time
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, but Belichick, you have to give him credit for the strategy for the Packers.
What I give
He
Belichick
definitely
credit for
confused
back
he
then
confused Rodgers.
was surrounding himself with good people. I mean, that's what any good leader does. You find people smarter than you to surround
No,
yourself
but this
with.
game, he confused Rodgers.
Yeah, oh,
You know,
agreed.
it was such a game that, if you have a normal offensive production, would you say if Mac is playing that game, we win?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I do.
Yeah, Rodgers looked less than an average
They
quarterback
took
for
away
half the
his
game.
entire short game. They
Yeah.
made him throw it long, and the cornerbacks did a
Did a
decent
great job, yeah.
And all game long, the corners were great. They took away that short game. They let everyone play, kept the play in front of them, linebackers, safeties, and they just nailed
Boy,
anyone. when they
I
got
thought the
ball.
Packers looked vastly overrated. I mean, from that game. I mean,
I
unless
thought their
Belichick had a
defense
great.
was the one that people have been saying how elite and great the defense is. I thought the defense looked more overrated than the offense, to tell you the truth.
And the 3 games we've lost, you could leave there in each game and say,
Could have won
Coulda
any
won.
of those games. And the problem is now they're 1-3. You have to at least go 8-5 to give yourself. That'll get you to 9-8.
Yeah.
You realistically probably need to go 9-4 the rest
Yeah.
of the way to get you to 10-7. So this team now, every game's important. 9-4.
Or would we rather just take it on the chin and get a high draft
Yeah,
pick?
the problem
that
is
never
that
works.
you look at the schedule coming up, and we're going
It
to
is a
back
soft
into
schedule,
we're going to
yeah.
back into 3 or 4 wins in the next
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
back into
Right.
to them.
Yeah.
So we have Zappy this week.
Yep.
It looks
Bob
like it.
Kraft's favorite. He likes him.
I like his mobility.
He
Is
does
what I like.
because he likes the price
Likes
tag.
him better than
I
Paying
Matt.
him $400,000
No, he
a
does.
year. He does.
No, he doesn't.
Do you like his mobility? He looks like he's got a little.
He can't throw
Yeah.
on the run.
Yeah,
no.
can't.
He's not making. It took him like if it took the average NFL quarterback 2.5 seconds to make the decision. It was taking him 4 seconds. He was taking quite a bit longer. That's why they had to put in a 6 and 7 man front to protect.
But also,
him.
the positives of usually bringing in a third string quarterback is their willingness to run, and he didn't do that. And
Well,
he had a
you-
few opportunities. He would have got first.
there
round.
was
So
no
you gotta-
backup quarterback. He couldn't get hurt.
Guys, when remember the Green Bay prepared for a 13-year veteran
Right.
to face Brian Hoyer. Detroit's preparing for a kid who played 46 minutes of a professional football game.
Detroit
Yeah.
knows, and they're going to have 10 in the box.
Yeah, they're.
Forget
Oh, yeah.
11
It's gonna-
in the box.
It's going to be a different. Bailey Zappi is going to be facing a
They're
different
not gonna be able to
situation
run
next
up the
Sunday.
middle.
Yeah,
Right.
Talk to me when Bailey Zappi, throws 3 picks because he just doesn't know. He's not going to.
Oh, that's another part of the draft I just forgot. Bailey.
Bailey Zappi's playing.
What was
Yeah,
he, fourth
he's a
pick,
contract.
right?
Yeah,
Fourth round pick.
fourth round.
But at the very least, he looks like he could be a viable
Backup quarterback.
And
That's
Well, he certainly looked in the preseason, the first half of the first preseason game, he looked like the worst quarterback
Oh
I
my
ever
God,
saw
he
in my
was bad.
life.
He was bad.
But then as each game went on, he looked good by the
I mean, he
third
tore it up
game.
in college.
Yeah.
He tore it up.
And you knew Hoyer was going to get injured.
That's
You
too
knew
bad.
that. You knew.
Speaking of injury, what do you think of this Tua concussion issue?
That's a great question.
Did you see his fingers?
Yeah.
That's some type of brain reaction or something.
there are
The stiff fingers. Yeah.
the
It's
guy
a known reaction.
the guy who is famous for the concussions, studying the CTEs. Who,
Chris Nowitzki.
Yeah.
Guy-
He said he should retire.
Really?
Yeah. That he's progressed already into the level where. That basically he gets hit like that again. Whatever you saw is going to be
Yeah.
10 times worse the next time.
Yeah. At a minimum, he shouldn't. He shouldn't even go on a football field the rest of the year. If I were him, I wouldn't set a foot on a football field the rest of this year.
That is
The
scary.
brain is such a delicate thing.
And then that coach, I know he's a rookie coach and stuff. He's handled it so terribly.
Well, they fired everyone involved in it, right?
No, they just fired the one doctor.
Just the guy that
Just the
that they
one.
probably browbeat into a submission to.
Well, they
let
get
him
all
play.
fired up. They had some big wins, and they get all fired up. They get this fleet of receivers there now, and they're like, oh, you know.
And these supposedly independent guys, they're being paid $1,500 a game and get them on a sideline pass by the team. They owe the team.
But you just
Team puts a
realize
little
how
pressure on 'em.
important the quarterback position is. I mean, it's
Oh,
getting
yeah.
more and more important that teams are willing to give Russell Wilsons of the world and the Deshaun Watsons $200+ million.
We're looking at like a great quarterback to an NFL team might be worth $1 billion.
How much is Tom Brady worth?
Oh,
to
he
New
would have
England
been,
Pa-
I always said he was worth 10 first-round picks because you can't always get. You can use 10 first-round picks and never get a guy anywhere near as good as Brady.
Yeah. But the Patriots this week, the Lions apparently have the most porous rush defense in the league. We actually have the #1 rush offense in the league. That's what you're going to be seeing. You're going to see a lot of Stevenson and Harris.
Yeah.
Big Ten football. Here
But when
we
there's
come.
10 guys on the line and one safety, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a must-win game for New England. I think this is a kitchen sink game. I think they'll do whatever they can because if they lose to Detroit at home and they go 1-4, it just might as well pack it up.
I could see some trick plays coming.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Josh,
they'll
you
throw
beat me
everything
to the
at 'em.
punch. If Josh was here, you think we'd be getting some.
They-
We would have
they
had
think it's
two
so
trick plays by
conservative,
now.
all of a sudden, Jacoby Myers will be firing touchdown
Sure.
passes off the jet sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 1-4.
You're done.
You're tanking.
You're not making the playoffs.
You're putting Mac Jones in ice.
Yeah. You should for a few games.
And just
Get out of the easy part of the schedule.
Well, I think they
Right.
they are putting him on ice.
Well, he practiced
He's,
today.
he's limping
limping through practices. I mean,
he was
he's
limited.
yeah, but still, I mean,
You know,
on
that's the
ice,
kind of
don't
injury
even
that-
show up for 2 more
I think
weeks.
we've all had that injury at some point in our life, and it's so easy to just re-aggravate it. I think that's the thing. You know?
I think, he's kind of, he feels the competition.
Giving him some Toradol shots in there, and
Steve
Every
Belichick,
other
we have
thing.
to give him some props.
Wasn't
The
that the
defense-
most points scored this year in the 4 games? Was that game?
No, for the Patriots?
No,
What did they score against the Ravens?
about the same, wasn't it?
But Steve
21.
Belichick,
yeah, I think the
defense
defense has been good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It's been pretty good.
It's kept him in games.
Yeah.
Good.
Good-
The
Yeah,
offense going 3 and out that has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that the Patriots would throw some wrinkle at them that would disrupt their flow, and they did.
Look, but we talk about coaching, and that's, Ben Volen had said in the offseason, we got to start ripping on the coaching because these guys aren't progressing. What I see in the defense is guys who know how to tackle.
Coach, how many freaking flags did we see in that game?
Oh, don't even get me started about the refs. That was, again, the refs affect games so
It's
drastically.
like
in the
every
NFL
play there was a flag on the
against
Patriots.
the Patriots. And then-
Every play.
Yeah, although we got a huge break with
Oh,
basically a
the
negative
delay.
3-second.
Oh no, but I
touchdown
think
on every
That was-
look, the referees
Yeah.
thought they're putting the time.
Well, they got it wrong. No
Even
matter
still,
what, they
but
got it
a
wrong.
big break, right? They
Yeah,
got a
we
big
did.
break.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a
But you still
touchdown
played
on
the
that.
game.
Yeah,
You still
yeah,
played
no. The
that-
refs were not good the other day.
No,
They were not good.
and they favored the Packers.
Well, there's always a home. Refs get influenced by the crowd, and Lambeau Field is a great crowd. They, it's like the Steelers. That's Heinz Field. Well, it's not Heinz Field anymore, but those are great home field advantages. Those two, but as good as Seattle's and the Chiefs are probably.
You know what I
only
miss?
one
How many
better.
times did we go into Pittsburgh, as the underdog with Brady here and come out with the W? Those were great days.
All of it was great days. We have to. All right,
Reminiscing.
before we go to
Reminiscing.
predictions, Tommy Boy and Giselle. That's just.
Oh.
It's always sad to hear something like
Sad.
that go. Obviously, they were locals here in Brookline. You hate to see that for the kids and stuff.
Well, I'll just tell you, I met them in person a couple years ago, and I wasn't sure which one I was attracted to more. They're both so beautiful, tall and thin. That's all I saw.
The best plastic surgeons. All those two.
It's sad though.
Just a good-looking couple.
You don't want to hear that stuff.
No,
but
you know.
I mean,
Boy, didn't it seem like they were? I don't want this to turn into TMZ here, but didn't it seem like they really had something good going?
Yeah, well, that's it.
He retired to spend more time with his family, and 6 weeks later, unretired. So,
Yeah.
that's all you
Yeah.
need to know.
That's
And
all
you
you
look
need
at
to know.
There is one thing though;
Retirement
these
was not
NFL
good.
guys spend more time at home than any other sport.
yeah, right,
They
of
have
course,
6
yeah.
months off.
They
'Cause they don't really travel.
practice at home during the week. When do they leave? Friday night,
but the
Saturday
issue
morning
isn't.
for the
Yeah,
road,
Saturday
hang on,
morning.
and
though.
they're home Sunday
The issue
night,
with
right?
him isn't traveling for Saturday or Sunday. It's that he keeps himself in shape to play a football game 52 weeks a year. It's
Yeah.
not. It's all the training time. That when he's training to be a quarterback 6 hours a day, that's 6 hours a day he's not around.
Yeah.
That, and he's probably 6 hours a day at the Belichick School of Film Study.
Whatever.
So when
it
my
is.
father was
Studying
45
film.
years old, he was working 3 jobs. We saw him about 6 hours a
Yeah,
week.
but-
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
But your dad did that. He didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tom Brady has a choice. Tom Brady never had to work another day in his life 10 years ago.
I know.
And he's deciding that not only, and you said this the other day, not only does he go back to playing quarterback in the NFL after however 6 weeks, after fanfare, retiring to spend more time with his family, then he signs a contract with Fox
25 million?
for however many, 25 million a year to put himself on the road again after he retires.
I think death to him would be sitting there at home with nothing to do.
Look, no one's talked a better game about being a family guy than Tommy Brady.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
No. And we know,
done less about
as
it.
all of us being fathers of children who now
Nobody.
are grown up, we know we would do the whole thing. We can tell you something. It's a day job.
Yeah.
Hour to
It's
hour.
hand-
job.
And we
hand
loved
combat.
it.
Yeah.
We loved it. I
exactly.
mean, I don't know what Brady's not getting. There's nothing I would rather be, and I'm talking since the day they were born, than with my boys.
Yeah,
At every
exactly.
moment, I went up to see my youngest up at college this week, and I was as happy as I could be ever
Yeah.
playing 9 holes of golf with them. So, for a guy who talks the game, he doesn't know what he's missing.
Well, that's what they said. They showed a picture of his beautiful family and the Carolina Panthers. So you gave up your beautiful family to play this team twice a year. And it really, but it really doesn't matter. If he wins the Super Bowl, it doesn't matter.
Not anymore.
He's won 7 of them.
But
He's
you know,
the
and
greatest
he's the
of
guy
all time.
missing the moments with his kids, though. If he's always away, he's the one. He's the guy missing out. He's gonna blink, and these kids are gonna be off to college and gone, and that's it. You know. My son moved out about 3 weeks ago. I've seen him like twice since then.
But
you know?
but being a narcissist of that level, is that part of the game of
Yes.
being?
I think
greatest of all
I
time?
think he's the most competitive, maybe one of the most competitive athletes of all time. He's up there with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? And so he thrives off the competition. He's addicted to the competition.
He's addicted to the process. I think he
Yeah.
loves practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves the whole thing that goes into it. At one point in my life, I loved hockey like that. I like lacing my skates, taping my stick, the smell of everything. You just love. You just want to be there all the time. He's addicted to
But I
that.
told you guys a number of years ago that he's a guy that would be holding a clipboard at 50 years old. He needs football much more than football needs him.
Yep.
Are you walking?
If I'm him, by the way, if I just blew my marriage up to play football, I'd try to play quarterback. I'd try to be a starting quarterback until I was 50 at this point.
That's what he's
the
going to
hell?
do, right?
Yeah, now it's
Why not? Just why retire?
However, no,
If
but he
you're that
didn't stop.
good?
Now
Probably
because him and his
because
wife
that
are breaking up,
Reed's
that
number.
doesn't mean he stops being a dad all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
It's
He stops
questionable
being
what
a
kind of dad
husband,
he was ever.
but he stops being a husband. He doesn't stop being a dad, though.
He's a phony baloney. We know.
He talks a big game.
And I'm a big admirer of his. I hope that's not the case. I hope this hasn't all just been a big blowhard,
He's got the
fooling us
one
for all these
son,
years.
Ben,
No, I
from
agree with you.
The girlfriend,
Bridget
Bridget
Moynihan.
Moynihan. Yeah.
Moynihan, and then how many? 3 now?
Two.
Two.
Yeah.
He's got
All right, so we go
Ben-
to
Ben
predictions.
and Vivian.
We'll go to predictions. Timmy,
I almost had it last week. I had a pretty good call
You
in the
had
game.
28-24.
28-24. I said
27.
I said Belichick would throw some type of defensive wrinkle at him and throw.
you had the Packers winning.
I did
So
have
you
the
were 1
Packers
point
winning.
off.
And what was the final?
27-24, which
Okay.
Joseph predicted.
I'm going with the Patriots this week. I think they're going to have a game plan for Detroit, and I like our running game. I think the defense is coming together. I am going to go 24-17 Patriots.
Oh, there we go. All right, pretty high scoring when you take into account what the string quarterback.
Yeah, 3 running touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown. We'll throw a field goal in. Patriots win 31-21 because they have to. This is a must-win game.
Wow.
I'll go along with Russ that, and one of those touchdowns I think will be scored by the defense or the special teams.
Yeah.
But 31 sounds like something a desperate team needs to put
Yep.
on the board. Versus, I'll go 10. Just Detroit's offense is really banged up.
So what's the final score? What do you have?
31-10.
31-10. I have 17-16, the Patriots winning. And me
A nail biter?
cursing many times. Are we
Okay,
going to...
You're basically predicting turnovers. That Zappy's going to turn the ball over.
Yeah, it's going to be an ugly game.
Yeah.
I mean,
He wants to make Wally Pip look good.
it's not going to be pretty.
He loves himself some Mac.
I
Mac
love
Daddy.
myself some
He
Mac
wants
Daddy.
Mac Daddy
Absolutely.
back,
You guys
yeah.
don't see it. You seriously?
Hey, I'm hoping I'm proven wrong, Scotty.
Me too.
I don't know. Seriously, I'm actually shocked that you guys aren't excited about Mac Daddy.
Why are you throwing me with
No,
these
no,
guys?
no.
I'm with you
Russell
on this.
is. You're right.
Russell says
it's
10 years
Russell and us.
seasoning, he might be a
It's
top
us right
15
here.
guy.
Yeah.
It's-
What I worry about
we're-
Mac is
we're
that-
the Mac Daddy boys. You two go here. Go 10.
What I worry about Mac is what we're seeing is
We've
what
got
we're going to
Zappy
get.
fever.
I think he's arrived at where he's going to be, and this what we see right now is what
Is
we're going.
the
He might
ceiling.
start calming down on the interceptions a little bit, but I just don't think he has the physical prowess to do.
But I will say
to
this
be in
about
that
you,
elite,
Timmy, and I love you,
elite
Timmy.
group.
But you've been saying this since his 4th game of his career. You've been in the same situation.
I can't remember a single game where he won the game for the Patriots, though.
Oh, he looked great last year. There were games where he played great.
The only
last
game
year.
he came from behind on was against the Texans.
Well, he does not play well from behind, and that's the next step.
That's up here.
He needs to figure that out.
The defense was terrible last year.
It was. Well, no, the defense was great the first 10 games.
Against cupcakes.
Look, we got the guy in the 15th pick in the draft. Can you imagine what other teams would give you
I'm
for
glad
Mac Daddy?
we got him. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
he's better than the alternative.
Yeah, better than the alternative of having Hoya as your
Or
number one.
Cam
If
Newton
Mac
or
Daddy
whatever.
was a free agent right now, an unrestricted free agent, and open to all teams,
Carolina.
would Mac Daddy get a $200 million contract?
No, not 200 million, but I mean, He'd be
Some
high
idiot might
demand.
might give it to him. I don't think
Carolina
he
would
deserves
probably
it.
He'd be in probably 150 to.
Yeah, he'd be in very high demand. Somebody
Yeah.
would sign him for 6
Quarterbacks
years.
are worth $1 billion to a franchise.
So look, a lot of teams would like to have him right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see next week. All right, the Red Sox. The season ended. I tried to post Timmy's seats
Did
today.
they win today?
They
I
were
don't know.
up 4-2.
I tried to post Timmy's seats
In
today.
the rain.
And so
I gave to a charity. The charity returned them.
so I posted them for $6 because saw that everybody was posting them for $6, and it didn't sell. And in like an hour or two, so I said, okay, because I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm going to post it at $5.
$5.90.
And they wouldn't let you.
You can't go pennies. You can't
couldn't
drop
go-
it like the $5.98.
You couldn't go to under $6. That's been pretty much the whole all of September.
I take a screenshot of that, like 1 million seats for sale. For
Yeah, I
$6.
sold. I only ate one game. I sold every game in
Face value?
in the last. Yeah, I got lucky.
good?
Yeah, I got lucky.
I don't sell them. I
Yeah,
can't.
last night I was ready to go. I just called my friend and said, it's too cold.
And we're under the roof
nasty.
too.
Yeah,
But when that wind's blowing and it's misty and cold, no one is safe
it was a
from that.
fitting. The weather the last 2 days was a fitting end to just a really miserable season.
Do we blame the whole thing on Heim?
Yes.
He takes a good share
take-
of it.
We were
Blame a
just
lot
we were
of it.
just looking at Renfro and Schwaber's
Well,
home run totals.
You
I
can put
mean,
my friend Chris Sale into that same
Yes.
boat with Heim. By
Yeah.
the way,
And well, Heim's going to bring back your other friend, Jaron Duran. He's not done with him yet. He wants all these base stealers.
oh God.
Look at all the prospects he traded for this year. All of them base stealers.
See, I don't like when Sam Kenny, Brookline's own, who's been on the show or at Fenway Park, who was a wonderful experience
Yep.
for us. When Sam doesn't, he's waffling about, because he's the mouthpiece of the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. He speaks for ownership. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, Xander, we both have to play. No, we don't have to both play. Boris says a number. You say, well, that's very reasonable. Thank you very much. Let's have a press conference. Xander must stay.
Well, look, wait a minute. Xander's under contract for the next 3 years.
Joe,
with
he's
the Red
going to
Sox,
opt
right?
out. What are you talking
He's
about?
going to opt out.
Yeah, he's going to opt out. The ball's in his court first.
Well, he's a free agent. Yeah, of course.
Now, what's
He's-
in a
No, he's
contract
not a
for
free
this year?
agent, Only if he opts out.
Well, he's going to opt
What's
out.
the number this year?
20.
He's got 60
20.
million
But
guaranteed.
Joe,
20 over
Joseph,
3
that has
years.
nothing to do with anything. He's going to opt out. Well, that's the contract doesn't mean
100%.
He
anything.
hasn't said for sure he's got
Oh my God! Yes, he is.
Okay,
It's
what's
the-
he worth on
I-
the free? What's he worth on the free market?
seriously,
about that.
About
No,
20?
More years.
No, Joe, come on, no, that's not even close, Joe.
I
He
have
said
faith
he-
in my friend
look,
Joe over here.
He's a 20. Is it? I think I'm with you. You got to start at 25 million a year,
Okay, that's
right?
fair.
And I think at
How
the
old
end of
is
the
he?
day, I don't know, it's 31, 32, something like that. Like
do we want a 41-year-old shortstop?
No, you
No,
go.
no more than 4.
I think what I would do is I go in and I'd offer 6 years at 25 a year, 6 years and 150 million, in 150
And then
million.
settle at 27, 28
and,
million.
and maybe there's some
For 6
option or
years.
something like that.
So
6-year
he'll be
contract,
a 37-year-old shortstop
or a
who
third
already
baseman,
has limited range.
or a third baseman, or a left
Who at
fielder.
31 can't
What
get to a
do I
lot of
give
balls.
a shit about next 6 years from now? I could care less.
I'm with you.
Well, it's how you spend the money, Scotty, isn't it? Like
No,
if you spend
yeah.
it on him, you
There's
can't
no-
spend it on somebody else.
Yes, you can. There's no salary cap in,
This-
it,
right,
in Major League
Okay.
Baseball. There isn't. I mean, if this was
There
a
is
salary,
one,
by
but
the way,
it's not a
if there,
hard cap.
if there was a hard cap, if this was like the NBA, I would not be sitting here saying
Okay,
sign
okay.
Xander
all right.
at whatever.
Now,
it
do you
costs.
think John Henry's going to look at the books this year and go, "This is intolerable. We can't.
He should.
We can't be like doing this in this market where we have the potential to kill it."
They could have made a lot more money this year if they had a first-place team than they are making right
Jeremy Jacobs realized, and you talked about this, he realized many years ago that if he continued to be cellar dwellers and so
I
then
was
he's-
leaving when Tim
then-
Hoey leaves the Bruins.
Then
That's
who
bad.
did he sign? Chara.
He signed Char. That was a
Changed
breaking
the franchise
point.
forever. They're at a point right now, they see it, that the Patriots are more popular than them, the Celtics are more popular than them, and if they have a last place team next year, the Bruins will be more popular than them. The Red Sox will not allow that to happen.
And the mistake they make over and over and over again is they let guys go who have proven that they can play in Boston.
Yeah,
great
right?
point. Yeah.
They let Mookie go. They're about to let Xander go. They're gonna let they could let Evaldi's proven he can play in Boston.
Yes.
Xander's proven he can play in Boston. Rafael Devers has proven he can play in Boston.
Yep.
Right?
They want to be here.
They want to be here. And guy like Renfro, who it's 20 whatever or 30 home runs last year, proved he could play right field
32.
in Boston.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Schwarber proved he could play baseball in Boston.
And
Perfect
get
Boston
along
guy.
great in the
And
dugout.
all these guys just go off, and we get guys in here who.
Now, going back
Who
a little
can't
bit
play?
to
Who
can't play in
Schwarber,
Boston?
do you remember the talk about this team becoming a slow pitch softball team with Schwarber and Renfro?
Well,
That was our worry.
Schwarber and JD.
JD.
And Renfro.
Right.
So that was like,
Yeah, but
that was our worry.
my position was trade JD for a reliever, sign Schwarber, and you just have Renfro and Schwarber. Every team has two
I
guys
mean,
like that.
They had problems at first base. Schwarber could have been as bad as defensively as the guy.
Now, we're going to put it on high for even freaking thinking that Dahlbeck was the answer.
And then
there.
this next year, he could be the DH now that JD's
Exactly.
gone.
Or do you think he had in mind Cass is coming up the whole time, so
Yeah,
we'll just
when
put
Cass is coming up,
JD
he
there,
becomes-
we'll just put what's his
becomes-
name,
that's
there,
exactly
Dahlbeck,
right.
you know, and
Yeah, he
as a Band-Aid until he arrived.
That's exactly right. But he traded the wrong person. I'm pretty sure you could have traded Dahlbeck if you had to make that deal instead of Renfro.
Dahlbeck looks like a ball player. You look at him at the play, and didn't he have a great September and October?
Yeah.
He played well last year, late in the year.
Except
But
in the playoffs, he
But
disappeared.
he looks like a ball player. He's tall, lanky. Looks like he plays a decent.
They
first
could have
base.
roped
so
somebody
you
into
would,
taking him.
you would offer Xander 6 years at 25 a year. 6 years.
I think it's going to end up 27,
higher.
28.
Yeah, I
I
think
think it's
so.
going to be in between 25
I
and
think
30.
6 years, 25 per is
But
fair.
they're not going to get that. They're going to have to go that 20.
Maybe
Who
go a
gives-
little bit.
yeah.
Who cares?
Would
Another
he
$5
stay
million,
here
right.
if he got a better offer somewhere else? He can't though, right? Until once he opts out, he's an
Yeah, he's
absolute
a
free agent.
He can. I don't think. Would he
You
take?
have 5 days after the World Series ends.
Would Xander take a little bit of a hometown discount, meaning like $5 million over the life of the contract?
Yes.
10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But he's
Yeah.
not taking a $25 million haircut, and he shouldn't.
No.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anyone out there going to offer him at the age of 31.
It
With-
is, Joe. He's
just
a,
takes
he's,
one.
Yeah.
they, these teams want to bring in a guy. They want to sell tickets. Xander Bogaerts would sell
The Yankees
tickets.
are set at shortstop, right? And the Dodgers, those are like the
Dodgers are not set at shortstop.
No, but you
Oh,
have-
imagine them coming and scooping
In
him
a
up.
heartbeat. The Dodgers could do that in a heartbeat.
I happened to see, they did a chart on the salary cap and wins per thousand of salary cap, and the Red Sox were like next to dead last. Only the Phillies were worse.
look, the Red
And the
Sox. Have,
Phillies made the playoffs.
look, the Red Sox have won 4 World Series in the last 18 years. I'm very happy.
Right.
Okay.
And have come in last 5
They-
times.
Absolutely right. But okay, this is. But you cannot, because you set a tone if you don't sign
agree.
Xander and
I agree.
Devers right now,
Yeah.
because we're not excited about the cases anymore because we know they're leaving, and I don't even understand all of this. Why are they leaving? Why this is
Doesn't
the
make sense.
Boston Red Sox,
Right.
and
Who's leaving?
why these top players?
I think they're bringing back the whole infield's coming back by hook or by crook. Then it's Heim's
That's
job to
great.
figure out.
then why are they fucking around with
The-
Xander?
the
Why
pitching.
didn't they sign him already?
I don't think
I don't think he's gonna-
He's been allowing negotiate. Or Boris hasn't.
They offered him what I would consider to be an offensive. They basically said, "We'll play for $20 million a year for the next 3 years, and we'll give you another year for 30." Why would you do that if you were him?
Right, of
When you're
course-
watching Korea and all these guys getting
And does that leave you
$25,
with a
$30
sour
million?
taste
of
in your
course
mouth?
it does. It should. It should leave him with a sour taste.
He's been the leader of this team for a while.
He's the Patrice
The
Bergeron
face-
of the Red Sox.
Yeah, he's the face of the Red Sox.
If you're selling your house for $1 million, Timmy, and the guy offers at 800, you're not even talking to him. You're like, oh,
That's right.
he's a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
He's a joke. That's the same thing now. The Red Sox, you're a joke. Why do you even bother wasting our time now?
I hope they change their mind. I
These
hope what
people,
they've seen this year
they
makes
negotiate
them change their
for a
mind.
Yeah,
living.
you got to start a negotiation at some place.
I know, but you can't insult.
Scott Boras is his agent, and you're basically tacking 1 year, like opt in, and we'll tack another year on at $30 million at the end of the contract. That's a joke of an offer.
Okay, so with the season over, does Xander stay or go?
I think they're all staying. I think they have to sign. They have to.
So when
There's
you mean
no way.
so you mean the big three? Well, so we will coin the big
Well, I'm
three.
talking the
Xander,
big-
Devers, and Evaldi.
No.
I don't know about Evaldi. But there is no way after the Betts debacle. There's no way that they let Devers and Xander walk.
I agree. Xander and Devers Evaldi's a whole nother story. He had a great run in that World Series year, but he hasn't played a whole lot.
So
He's only in his 4 years. He's played like.
So
one
Devers.
season
All right, so
worth.
Devers and Xander State.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to find a way. John Henry will make time, whether he wants to or not, sign those two.
Okay, between Walker and Evaldi, probably one stay. Who stays, Timmy? Let me just get you
I'd
down.
put my money on Evaldi.
Evaldi. Walker and Evaldi, one of them probably stays.
I'm thinking maybe neither.
Neither. Okay. All right. Russ?
I think midway through the year, I thought Xander was gone. I think the way this year ended, to Joe's point, there's a lot of pressure on them. I think they're going to sign him. They'll do the thing that you just said, which is like whatever, 26, 27, 5, 6 years. They may not go beyond that. I think they will sign him. Devers, I think they'll make an offer. And the question is, does Devers want to play ball or just say, I want to go to free agency and go to the highest bidder? That's the scary thing.
So what price tag do we
He's
put
got
on
to be
Devers?
30
What's it
million.
going to
He's
take to
30
sign
million
him?
a year, at least.
I would imagine
10
30
years?
for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets the 300 after.
See, if I'm him, I don't do 10 years because the market could go up
How many
much
years
higher
more
after
do
5
they have in
years.
control? 2?
2 more, I think.
No, he's a free agent after next year.
One more year?
Is
Yeah,
that
But the
right?
market,
Yeah,
why
sure.
would you do 10 at 30 when in 5 years
You
it
might be
could be
right,
45 a year?
What's that?
Well, because if you could get hurt, you could have 2 crappy years in a row. I mean,
Yeah.
you take them.
And then all
That's
of
a
a
lot
sudden
of
you don't
dough,
get-
Timmy.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
what's
a
the
lot
matter?
of dough.
And that's
That's-
guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Are you
No.
going to be like looking at your $30 million a year check and going, hey, a little light? Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really
I
believe
mean,
in myself.
so
you know.
Timmy could be right. You could also sign a contract where he signed for
Opt out
4
after
years and
5.
he gets an opt out after 4 or 5 and goes back in
If
the
I were
market
him,
he
that's what
wants.
I'd be looking
If I were the
for.
Red Sox, I wouldn't give it to him.
No, what would
I'd be doing that.
Look at Aaron Judge did exactly what
Yeah,
you
let
wanted.
me
Timmy.
leave
That's-
after 5,
wouldn't-
and
I wouldn't
I
let
have
that
the
guy
decision
opt out.
after 5.
I
mean,
wouldn't.
You're
do it.
really caving in if you let him do that.
The
you know.
Yankees offered Aaron Judge like 25 a year, and
What?
he said no. He bet on himself, and he almost had. a
So,
triple
do you
crown.
think the Red Sox will get a chance to make an offer to Judge, and will they make a serious play for him? And serious has got to be what, like 35, 40 million a year for?
They got to start at $40 million.
Right.
Yeah. There's no way Steinbrenner.
He's how old?
No, it's a different
31?
Steinbrenner now. It's not George anymore. Hal is cheap.
You know what I told you what I would do? I would say, come take an extended vacation in Boston.
Yeah.
We'll give you $50 million a year for the next 3 years. And you can go back into the market, or 4, and you can go back into the market. If you want to end your career with the Yankees, fantastic, but just spend a few summers up in
$200
Boston.
million, yeah.
Why not?
Well, the Yankees are
I'd
in
do
the
it in a
same
heartbeat,
place as
right?
the Red Sox are with Xander. Judge has become the face of the Yankees. He made them $500 million this year.
Oh, on
And
the
extra
ES
people
Network.
coming
Sure,
to
of
that
course.
park.
Well, the ES Network, the ratings have got to be
Everyone
crazy.
watching them
Gotta
because
be.
of that home run thing. He is the most important sports figure in all of New York. They have to sign him. So if you up it to $45 million, they got to go 46.
Fine, it's fine by me. Make him go to
Absolutely.
60.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Make him go to 60. Offer him
And then
$50 million for
handcuff them.
4 years.
Then they handcuffed him for signing any depth on that team. That
Look,
bullpen's gone.
Look, I've told you, in the Boston world, they all compete for the same marketing dollars. All everyone's talking about is Tatum and Brown. Mm-hmm. Those are the 2 stars in this town right now.
Yeah.
And they get sick of it. They say, shit, we can't make any sales. We need a guy like that.
Because
Oh,
remember,
Aaron
if you
Judge.
re-sign Bogarts and keep Devers, you're just back where you are now or were
Yeah.
last
Last
year.
place.
You're not adding anything into the team. You're just keeping the team as it stands. I don't
Okay,
know.
would you do this? Sign Xander, sign Judge, trade Devers.
No, I probably wouldn't do that. Judge is a lot older than Devers.
Yeah, I want Devers
5
here for a
years?
while.
5
He's
years
the
older.
cornerstone.
Yeah, he's 5 years
I think
older.
Judge is, 29?
And
He's
he's
pushing
injured
30.
quite a bit, too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
With that
Okay,
body,
you wouldn't do
that
it. Okay,
long-
Devers shows
I
up
would think
like
about
pretty.
it.
Devers
I would
is-
I would think
stays-
about it, but I wouldn't do it. I don't think Judge is that much better than Devers, and he's a lot older.
No, but I would
Devers
see
shows
what
he
I could
stays
get.
healthy, too.
yeah, you're right. And then you trade Devers and you
I
get
don't
a
know.
ton.
Devers
Yeah.
hasn't hit 62 home runs in his career.
If I could get a Soto deal for Devers and sign Judge, I would consider that. And also
maybe.
the Red Sox.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
but
just
you
want to
get a
mention.
Soto deal.
I know it sounds. Red Sox minor league system seems to be all third baseman. You know, they're really, they trend really deeply on the third baseman type. And at some point, but at the very least, there's going to be moves and there's going to be big star moves.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
need something plastered across the paper this year. Red Sox sign, and we're all like, "Oh my goodness, thank you."
Yeah, they got to be like
Have
Whip would
to.
say, fireworks.
Have to.
Oh, Alex Corday, and I'm not calling him a fucking scumbag anymore. So I've
We've
stopped
gone
doing
R
that.
rated around here lately.
Yeah,
I
we can
mean,
do that.
I know that.
So, I'm sorry.
My delicate ears. Scotty.
Cora, again, he did a good job this year for what he had, but he said something that's going to bite him in the ass this whole offseason. He said we were the best, worst team in the league this year.
Yeah, they weren't. No, that's lame.
That's not what we want to hear.
That's lame.
That's not what we want to hear of bringing the band back.
No, it's lame.
We don't want to bring the band back.
But isn't-
That's bringing back a last place.
But isn't
team.
that when you say that line, that's what you're basically saying, right?
Oh yeah, they couldn't hit with men on base all year. They left more men on base. They couldn't get the big hit. No one in that lineup got big hits.
How much cachet, Russell, does Cora have with management?
I'd say a lot.
I'd say a healthy amount, but it'll dwindle. You come in last, the bloom is off the rose, right?
But with that pitching staff that they presented him with this year, I mean, who could have done
especially that bullpen.
who could have done anything with that staff this year? I mean, I don't care if Yogi Berra or whoever the greatest manager of all time, Dick Williams came out of. Nobody was doing anything with that staff this year.
I wouldn't blame him, but remember, like up until this year, the thing about Cora was this is a guy who maximizes what he has on a team. He
Yeah,
wins,
last year we were
and
right
he was
there.
that guy. He's got a last place
But
finish
that
on his
was
resume.
absolute dreck. That
Last
they
year,
had
though,
for a bullpen.
Tremendous.
Yeah, but you know what though? They had a stretch in the middle of the year. Remember, it was one boneheaded play after another. They were running into outs. They were committing errors.
July.
That was not a
But he managed the hell out of this team last year.
Last year he did.
I mean,
But
he
did
could
great
make a
job
wrong
this year.
decision.
Russ is right. Every night, Verdugo
Mental
or
lapses.
Jaron Duran were doing stupid things in the outfield. Guys were running through signs.
Misjudging fly balls because they're not concentrating.
Yeah.
They lost focus.
They lost focus.
Yeah.
That July was like. Remember, they had a great June. They got about 500. They looked good.
On the road
And
to
then
96
July,
wins.
It was like the Three Stooges took over the
guys.
team.
All right, I just want to mention I predicted the
They
Red.
were on the road. I remember you.
No, and at one point they were.
You said they were on course.
No, because I was
They
getting
played-
ragged on. I predicted 96 wins.
How many?
96 wins. I was
I'm
wrong.
sorry.
And
So
so
one more
I'm
time.
wearing the. We're getting this elephant out of the room here. I'm wearing the Jimmy G shirt because I predicted incorrectly.
96 wins.
This is the first time that I predicted incorrectly in the 8 years we've been doing this show.
You
Everything
was
else
wrong.
is
It was the
dead
first
on.
time. Everything else is dead on. Jason Veritek is the manager of the Red Sox.
In some world.
Wait, I don't see you putting it on, Scott. Scott,
It's
hold,
happy hour somewhere.
holding it and putting it on. It's not the
Yohan
same thing.
Moncada is the best third baseman in the history of the Red Sox.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he would have been Sandy. Roberto
so-
Alomar.
Can- Go out on a limb, other than Judge. Who's the big splash? He has to sign a huge person.
Yeah,
Take
that's
Judge,
a
take
big-
Judge out of the equation.
No, I think it's more of
The
a trade.
newspaper this year has to say Red Sox sign or
I
do
think it's a
deal
trade
to
to
get
me.
this guy.
I think it's a trade, not as much of a sign.
And who's
It's
the
not gonna
big?
be
I
Michael
want that.
Chavis.
Soto?
No.
Who's the
I
big?
want the Tommy Trumpet closer, Diaz.
Oh my God! Yeah.
In Boston. How great would that
We
be?
would love. Oh, we would
How
have
great would that
so
be?
much fun
That'd be a lot
with
of
that. Narcos. That
How much
song.
time we had? How much fun we had? Koji and
Oh,
Papelbon.
my God.
Right? Like we need a closer.
When's the last time we had a closer around here?
Kimbrel.
Kimbrel.
Remember,
Yeah.
he had that terrible.
Then
he
It
did it
was
just
later.
awful, remember?
Yeah.
Remember they
He was
played
tipping
the,
his-
All the way around.
That was so
That was
contrived.
Oh,
He was
it so
tipping his.
hokey and
Remember,
corny.
he ended up tipping his curveball. I think,
Yeah,
and that
no.
that just.
I mean, he
that was
played.
the
He
end of
pitched
him.
really well that year during the year, but he faded. But I think we need a
September
closer.
he
Well, they said he was tipping his curveball,
Yeah.
I want the
right?
best closer in baseball.
Oh, absolutely.
Kimber was.
No, I want the best
Oh.
closer that they
Yeah.
can possibly
Who
get.
has the
Yeah.
greatest song?
We have a
to
lead
enter the
halfway
game?
through the eighth. One outs, 2 outs in the eighth, and you bring this guy
Break
in, the
out
game's
Tommy
over.
Trumpet.
Yeah.
Sweet Caroline in the eighth, Tommy Trumpet in the ninth.
Yep.
Holy oh my
That'd be great.
Oh,
That'd be great.
Look, and,
No more killers in the ninth?
no, but look, it's a young crowd now. Fenway's be turned into a young
is a
crowd.
young crowd, yeah.
You do those 2 songs, 10 minutes. Okay, thank you, Todd. And Todd is, just so you know, Todd's been doing all this gossip today. So the TMZ, the T stands for Todd. Yeah, that's. But no, that's fun. We want to have fun.
Yeah,
at the games.
we want fun.
Yeah.
And we got a pitch clock next year.
Yeah, right.
A lot of changes next. Bigger
No-
bases,
no shift. You
only
can't
free
to
throw
first
overs,
base
right?
Anymore. No
What do you-
more.
Two.
What do you
Two.
get?
Two.
Twice?
Twice. You can see a lot more. My prediction: you're going to see a lot of stolen bases.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's
The
why
bases are a little bigger,
he's going
3
towards
inches
speed?
inside.
Is that why Hines going drafting all
If
these
you knew a pitch
speedy
clock was
guys?
coming and you can only throw to first base twice, that means once that second throw goes over, that guy can't do anything to keep you on.
Wow.
No, they'll throw to second, and when they get, they'll turn and spin and throw.
Well,
to
maybe.
second.
How many times
How many
can you
times
do
you're going
that?
to do that? I
Yeah.
don't know if you can do that either.
That might be limited to 2 too.
Yeah. So
Look,
you can only actually the rule is you can only step off the rubber twice. Doesn't matter. You can't throw it to third. So
At
on
least,
the,
at least
after
the
you
major
throw
leagues is
2,
taking some steps to.
and you have speed. What are you going to do?
that's
You're
why you're
gone.
going to see a David Hamilton, possibly the guy
Maybe.
they got, one of the guys
Yeah.
who had 68 stolen bases in
Yeah.
Portland.
You know what I love about high school baseball now? You can put a pinch runner out there for anyone all game. It's crazy. And the slow guy gets on, you put a pinch runner on front.
Yeah, that-
It makes the game fun. Every time someone's on base, something
Oh,
can
I
happen.
want to talk about this for a second. So what the Savannah Bananas is literally the reason that it's getting all this exposure and it's fun stuff because they're creating some rules that this is a trial balloon. One of them is that you can steal first base at any time. And that's absolute that the ball is live at all times. So if a ball goes past the catcher, which I always thought that was weird, ball goes by the catcher, you know,
pass ball.
pass ball. No, a ball. Nobody's on the base.
Wild
Yeah,
Ball goes.
yeah.
Ball goes past the catcher. Now it's just he gets
Yeah.
a new ball.
Umpire ball.
The ball's live.
It'd be fun.
It should be that way,
Are
right?
did
Yeah,
they do
like
that
That's
this
what they
year?
do.
Strike.
That's what they do at Savannah Bananas.
Everything's a third
No,
strike.
right. So he can go.
Yeah.
He can go.
I like it.
I love that, right?
Be fun.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, that's the way it should have been.
Yeah.
Why is the ball dead?
Don't know.
It should never be dead. Always be alive.
I never ever conceived of something like that. So hats off to whoever thought
But
that.
do you guys agree? Do you agree?
Oh yeah,
think it'd be
I
fun
like
as
it.
hell.
I like it.
I think it'd
Anything
be
to
fun
get
as
this
hell.
game a little more exciting.
Get the game
They
going.
need more action and less guys stepping in and out of the box, pitchers stepping on and off the rubber, pitchers throwing back and forth with the first baseman, with nothing happening for 3-4 minutes.
What do you think of a pinch runner anytime you want?
Nah, I'd prefer it.
I want the guys being the athletes that they are. You live with your body. So Kyle Schwarber gets on base, you got to run to second.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, in high school, it makes it fun.
Yeah, I know, but these guys are being paid a lot of money. Like, the last thing we need is like a freaking
And these guys can
25-year-old.
run. Even the
Five guys from the track team.
Yeah.
even the Brian Daubacks of the world can run really fast compared to the average person.
That's right.
Well, look, there's a lot of exciting things going on in Major League Baseball because they're receptive to rule changes where they have not been in our whole lifetime
That's right.
other than the DH.
And
Well, why?
Brookline's
Because of
Brookline's own Theo Epstein has a lot to do with this. I heard this great. He was on a podcast last year, and he said they've done a lot of surveys, and when they ask fans what are the most exciting things, it's triples, stolen bases inside the park, home runs, and they took a look at the numbers, and they've dropped to the bottom. So they happen less and less frequently.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, and they're trying to figure out what they can do with the outfielders because they think the outfielders are too deep now. They take away that stuff by playing so deep.
Yeah.
They play no doubles at all times now, it seems.
Well, I think you're going to have lines like you have in the NFL.
Could.
Where they can only go.
You could have that.
I love the shift getting eliminated.
Well, with the
I
shift
hated the shift.
eliminated, the outfielders won't be able to play so deep.
That's right.
Because now you won't have that short fielder.
Yeah.
The outfielders will have to come
Pinch
in.
in.
What would David Ortiz's average have been if they had not had the shift? I mean, how many times did we see him hit a sharp ball to right at the guy?
Great question.
Shortstop fielding it on the right side of the infield.
Imagine how many hits that were taken away from Brian Daubach. by the shift.
I do imagine that.
Not as many as Daniel Nava.
All right, we go to the Boston Celtics. Look, how much time do we have left? We have like 5-6 minutes. We
Well, the
haven't even talked
Celtics
about.
haven't even started yet.
You know, they let these marital relations things seem to be a big subject in Boston now. Brady and Giselle and Ime.
Jokic, yeah.
Brady's down in Tampa.
Yeah, he's
I
still
know
our
he
guy.
is.
He's still our guy, though.
Look,
you know what I
look,
mean?
I don't. Look, Missoula has stepped in. I have
May
to.
not make
I-
a-
have
may
I
not
heard
make a
something-
difference.
I don't know. I heard there might have been a pregnancy involved. Has anyone heard anything?
No, who
It
knows?
could be. Everyone knows there's a lot more than what they're saying.
It'll all come out at some point.
Maybe.
No, that everyone's going to sign NDAs, and Ime's going to have his life. The Celtics are going to go on, and there'll be no liability.
I have to
for
be
the
honest with you.
Celtics.
I don't really
I don't
even
really
care.
care. I
Yeah.
don't care.
I don't care
See,
about
I'm a gossip
when
monger.
my
I like
favorite
it.
players or any player retires. I'm done with them.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Yeah.
It's the king is dead. Long live the king.
yeah.
You
Right,
have
Who's the
no
next one?
interest in like
Actually-
what shit really went down that made this
Could
nuclear
care less.
explosion.
At this
See,
point,
I'm
I don't
interested.
care.
Back when it first
I'm interested.
happened, I'm interested in the news.
Yeah.
But now that things have settled
I
down,
just want them
I
to.
don't care.
They play Toronto in 5 minutes. They start playing a game. It's like for me. It's what happens.
I want to know what caused this because I was so fired up for this freaking team to get going,
they
and then
get going.
Gallinari
It's
gets
the
hurt,
team's still there.
and then
Team's
I
still
know
there. It's not
gonna matter.
Gallinari gets hurt, and then Time Lord has to have surgery, and then
Yeah,
this.
but this is just it's.
Bad
I don't
start.
know,
Rough
Scotty. I
start.
can't
Rough
help
start.
it.
It's
I'm
October.
bald. I'm bald. I can't. I
No,
have no
but
control
Jimmy,
over my hair.
Last
Going,
year they were below
I'm interested.
500 at New Year's, right?
I'm interested to see
No, but it-
what the hell happened that caused this.
But Timmy, it's not like Adoko was our coach for 10 years and we were so
Well, I
invested
fell in
in
love with him quick. I fell in love
was
with him
just
quick.
so happy that I pronounced his name right.
I fell in love with him
that
quick
was
because
it.
now they got another guy on the team I can't pronounce.
You weren't. You're
Missoula.
not like thoroughly
No,
disappointed
the-
that he's not running this team.
Kevin
anymore?
No,
Gilliam.
I'm not.
Kevin
Oh, I
Gilliam.
am.
Again, I said this last week and I'll repeat it now. We're doing the in-studio show. I don't think the Celtics are that sad. I think they like this kid Missoula
Yeah.
a lot.
Okay, well, I don't know.
He interviewed with Danny Ainge, the other kid
right.
on the.
I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw this dysfunctional group of players who had a ton of talent, and who Brad Stevens couldn't figure out how to get them to live up to their potential. And this coach came in and just had the magic touch and wrangled them all together and gave us a wonderful year like we had last year. And I think he had a lot to do with their success last year. Hopefully it will carry over. Hopefully they'll be able to take it. I'm disappointed. I'm thoroughly disappointed that this guy's not going to be around.
I don't
this
think
year.
the players are disappointed at all. I've seen it.
Well, let's see it in their
interviews.
performance. Let's see it in their performance.
I saw multiple interviews, and nobody's heartbroken over Udoka. I think that Udoka. I think he did exactly what you did, what you said he did, but his act may have already worn thin with the group.
I just think these guys now know what they need to do.
These
win.
guys have advanced beyond him.
That's right. I don't think a coach in a situation like this really matters as much in basketball as it does in these other
I
sports.
agree.
Tatum and
I just
Brown
don't think it-
have just gone so much further than they were even a year ago.
So you think any coach could have come in and
Nope,
done
I didn't
what
say that.
Udoka did last
no.
year?
I said in the Celtics situation, which he did an
He was
amazing
the
job.
right man at the right
He
time.
pulled them
Yeah.
together.
How many minutes is
he
that?
taught them how to. He taught them how to win. He toughened them up. But that has actually happened. I don't think they're going to regress to where they were before Ime started last year.
I hope not. I hope you're right.
I just don't. And
I
think
hope
this-
you're right.
And Tim, it's not to say they might get off to a rough
They
start
might.
here. You know, good teams always start out rough in the NBA. It seems they take their time. Everyone learning to play together and whatever. There's going to be a bunch of strange lineups there.
Yeah, I know,
the
but
bigs.
there's not. They're not.
Look,
they're
their
gonna
biggest
be
challenge right now is they need innings eaters, so they don't put all in the big position, so they don't put all this on Al. Right? What they need is a classic inning. They need minutes from Cornette, from Blake Griffin, from
Yeah, what do
Kevin
we
Gilly.
think of the Blake Griffin signing?
They're going to need those guys to play.
Great question. I wanted to.
I was happy.
I was not happy when I first, but then I thought about it. Griffin can do some important things. He can play 6 to 10 minutes. But even in the playoffs, remember, we lost the game because we didn't box out on a free throw. That's a kind of situation you'd put Blake Griffin in.
That's
so
right.
he has use. So yeah, he's going to be the 11th guy or 12th guy in the playoffs, but he's a guy you can stick in there. And he's a real
need him.
calm
Yeah.
leader type.
We need somebody to eat minutes, and if you
Yeah.
can get 10 minutes out of him and 10 minutes out of Cornette and
Yep.
it's 10 minutes out of Grant at the 5 and Kabengele comes in and gives you 5 minutes,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you've made up for Robert
I
Williams.
loved
Yeah,
his
the
effort
Beach
against
having
us last year.
Carmelo Anthony.
I
You know,
totally agree.
If nothing else, Griffin gives you solid defense. He maybe can't jump like he used to, but he still can't protect the rim, but he can protect that lane. Look, in limited minutes, he led the league.
In charge, yeah. But they didn't want
Take
Carmelo
possession.
Anthony heaving up shots and Tatum and Brown going,
Yeah.
that's what are you doing?
a shot from me.
Yeah, what
That's
he's
right.
Blake Griffin's not going to take any
And
shots.
playing, Matador defense.
Yeah, no, I like the signing. And look, I think right now, are we at the point, I know it's only been a year, in Brad we trust.
As a GM, I think he's
Yeah.
a terrific GM.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was just, you may have been the coach at the turnaround, but the turnaround was largely engineered by the GM.
Bringing
And
White in.
Bringing White in, bringing Tyson, the
well,
moves he
Horford
made.
was the key one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, Horford and how he played. Was
He was the one who put that team together like he would have wanted Danny to build.
But
for him.
Ime had a team, the 2 stars.
I know you like yourself some email. Like
I
like
do.
some
I
guy
liked
Freddie.
because he did for Tatum and Brown. Remember the game we went to? We saw Tatum sulking off by himself, and we needed a guy like Ime to come in and kind of get up in his face and say, "Hey, let's go. You go out and earn your money. Live up to your potential." That's what I saw Ime do with Jason.
Well, we'll see what the
Tatum.
new coach could do. But that was
I think Tatum is. I would like to just say that he's never been my favorite player, but he's the most underrated superstar. He puts in minutes like an old time, like
Every night.
Tucker
Yeah.
Russell.
Every
he
night.
plays 45
And never
minutes,
gets hurt. Yeah.
82 games a year.
But we were very disappointed in him the first half of last year.
because we asked a lot. All right, we got to go. That's our show for tonight. Want to thank Todd and Adam behind the scenes. Want to thank, of course, the fellas. Please check us out on Spotify. Follow us, please. It'll change your life forever. I know it has. All of
Has
ours.
mine.
That's our show for tonight. Please tune in again 6:30 a Wednesday night next week. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great night. I'm Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.